little spot you were headed to?
Yep. Okay. This is fall foraging at its best. It's grouse season, so Steve Lukic and I were geared up, and we are after Yellowfoot chanterelles. I got a hot spot. I just got to figure out how to get to it, and hopefully we're shooting birds on the way. We're already into some mushrooms right where we parked here. Little puffballs. Oh, and they're solid. Solid. Those are nice. Probably just pick them on the way back. So brought the 12 gauge in case we get into some waterfowl on some of the back ponds. Wearing my, you can't see it all there, but my Cabela's shirt. I got a couple layers on because it's chilly out. Under that I've got my vest with pouches, my hunter orange on over that, and then a big foraging backpack, the split ash basket, and hopefully gonna fill it with yellowfoots. Maybe also see some late fall oysters. Anyway, we'll see as we go along. This is panning out, hopefully to be a catch and cook video. Gators.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that you walk on these straps, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
They get all mucky all
I
the time.
never wore the strap off of mine. They seem to last.
Yeah.
They're heavy duty. I think it's a record.
That is the biggest Fomitopsis betulina I've ever seen. There's 2 of them, 3 of them.
Yeah,
What?
those 2 are old though, but this
Look at
one,
this.
this beige one is like
You. I
pretty
like
nice.
you.
Medicinal mushroom.
Oh.
Yeah, we only been out for about 5 minutes, but it's not the yellowfoots.
No, but look at this.
But
That hid them.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
lovely little guy. Does that
Yeah.
focus if I can do that? No, okay.
It's too close, but
Yeah.
it'll get it. Yeah, with the teeth. So there's probably like 5, 6 pickable ones there.
Yeah, nice little guys.
Yeah.
You want me to throw them in the basket? Or are you going to just chuck them in for now?
Chuck them in the basket.
Yeah. I mean, I can put them in my foraging bag as well. You know what? 'Cause since we're going for a big haul, let me put the off ones that aren't target species in here.
Okay. Sounds good. So Steve always carries around one of these little mesh bags.
Yeah.
You buy those at the grocery store for produce, or you can get them for like in your laundry machine when you've got stuff you don't want to wreck, right?
Yeah, they breathe. They keep your mushrooms in good shape. And when you're walking around grousing for kilometers and kilometers, you're spreading spores around. And, you know, it's just a sort of gesture of stewardship to the forest, which is always a good thing.
Yeah. I'm going to give some advice that I forgot to take, which is when you're free bushwhacking like this, it's good to GPS your truck. So at least you always have that point to go back to.
I'm just following you, man.
Yeah, Steve's just following me, and I'm following
Got instinct.
habitat contours. Basically, I'm following the edge of the wet and the dry, and I'm walking that fine line. And dude, it is panning out for hedgehogs. Take a look around.
Yeah, look at this, eh?
Oh,
Some big ones. Yeah, I'll pull out the bag. Let's have a little stop here. And we got some kind of...
I find with the hedgehogs especially, you often find them around gradients.
Yeah.
Right, so you'll find them, like a big string of them, which is basically what we've walked into. And these are a firm, toothed mushroom with a central stipe from the top. Sometimes they've got a chanterelle color to them, and people think they've stumbled upon chanterelles first, but these are... Do you know which hydnellum or hydnum they are?
These used to be repandum, but they've but they've broken it into so many now. I don't even keep track anymore.
Like 40 species or something?
That's so many, man. Just this one, I think at least 8 or something.
Okay.
But here's a real good toxic banger.
Oh, okay.
If you want to have a look.
Yeah, show
That's in the
there.
Cortinarius genus there. And that one will send you to the hospital if you're not careful.
Toxic banger.
Yeah.
Met one of those at the bar one time.
Yeah. Tuned them right up, did you? Oh, yeah, there's some over here even.
Yeah, right in the roots of that yellow birch, eh?
I don't even have my knife out. I'll just pass them to you as we go. See, but look at them growing together. Look at that Cortinarius.
Right beside.
So yeah, like just as an example, I mean, you can tell one is rounder or whatever, but to a lot of people, an untrained eye, you might not pay super attention when you're grabbing them in a big patch of, like, these are the good ones, right? But flip them over and you look at that Hymenium, you can see this guy has gills, this guy has teeth. But from the other side, if that guy got thrown in the basket, that would be a big problem for you.
Yeah, that's why you don't grab and shovel.
No. Yeah, you look at every specimen individually to make sure that it's who you think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are a little bit slug-eaten, some of these.
Okay.
But a couple good ones anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
Few.
I gave in and I bought myself good pants, Sika pants. And one thing I like about them is they basically have a knife patch on the belt, like a protective patch, so you don't wear out your pocket edge.
Fancy.
Yeah, super fancy, man.
Very fancy pants. You have fancy pants kind of guy.
Yeah, I think they have pretty good longevity though, right? So yeah, it's true. Like some of them are
I've come back to
pretty
patches
old,
like
but
a month apart and they're still there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy for mushrooms. Yeah, this is a big mat, man.
This might be one of the better hedgehog patches that I've run into.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice mat, man.
Yeah, don't eat this mushroom.
No, definitely don't eat this one. So this is one of the most toxic mushrooms in the world. This is Amanita bisporigera, the Eastern North American destroying angel. And I want to show you a few of its key, look at, and here is a really good example of why the old myth of if an animal eats it, it's safe for you is so fucking wrong.
Yeah.
See, that little slug there has evolved for millions of years with these organisms, and it's developed, ways of rendering those toxins inert in its guts. It's got stuff in the flora and fauna in its guts and its microbiome. Yeah. Oh, that allows it to do that, and I just knocked the cap off.
Yeah,
but we can't.
A few more slugs in there too.
But we can't do that, okay? So a quarter cap of this mushroom is enough to kill an adult human, okay? And we should go over some of its key ID features. First of all, don't you notice, ironically, the ones that look the most like the ones you find in the grocery store that are all nice and clean and white, out here in our Ontario forest and a lot of forests are the most problematic ones. This contains amatoxins that are heat stable to over 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. You cannot cook them out. Don't let anybody tell you can boil the toxins out of mushrooms. It's only true on some mushrooms. It's not all of them. This is one you can't do that. So it's got that vulva. You see this sac-like cup enveloping. When that mushroom was a baby, this protected that little mushroom. Then it grew up.
Yeah, started as an egg.
Started as a little egg, and then it grew up. And it's got this sort of feathery, interesting texture on the stipe that is a little worn off already, but that's one of its key ID features. It's got what we call a free gill arrangement, and the slugs have eaten all that away. But if you look real close in there, you see that little moat where the gills, they start out here and they don't quite ever touch. That's one of its key ID features. It normally has a ring, but I think I busted it off. You can see a piece of it there. Okay, it's got this little umbo. You see that little bump in the center?
Nipple.
That's an umbonate structure. We call that an umbo. Okay, and its gills are relatively closely spaced together, and the thing that will really stand out about this mushroom in the forest is it's just ghostly white. And then when you see any white gilled mushroom, especially if you're a beginner, just leave it alone for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. The Eastern North American destroying angel. It sounds like a fucking metal band for a reason.
But hey, check it out. It was growing right here.
Yeah.
And then right here, what do we got?
Nice hedgehog, yeah.
A couple of nice little hedgehogs.
More hitting them. Yeah, they're everywhere in this patch, eh?
Yeah, we're making it well with hedgehogs right now.
Yeah.
Bling, 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 bling. Little jelly ear. Or a wood ear. So these are related to the ones they've cut up for hot and sour soup, right? Is that?
That's right, yeah. Those are really popular in Asian cuisine. You can actually buy these dried in like Asian supermarkets and stuff.
Yeah.
Chuck them in soups and stuff. They don't taste like much, but they take on other flavors really well.
Oh, wow, and they're so crunchy.
Yeah, they can be if you saute them, but if you throw them in a soup, it'll just fill up with flavor. And it's just like a little flavor when you bite into it.
Flavor nugget?
A little flavor like burst, you know? They're good.
Yeah.
There you go,
Throw
bro.
it in my pocket.
Yeah.
These are this hedgehog's pretty nice here too. It's got a pretty thick stipe. So right where you are over here,
Yeah.
are those old Yellowfoots there?
Oh, let's see.
Like
No,
it's something else.
no, that's something nasty, dude. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, that's not.
But it's a little beat up, but that's not what we're after. I'll throw those in the old bag though.
So to me, this is exactly why, like, guys who hunt on the ground, not road hunters, but guys who hunt on the ground should also be, and girls, should also be foragers.
Right?
Right?
Yeah. You never go home skunked.
We've got more weight in mushrooms than grouse so far, by far.
Oh yeah, this is 2 grouses worth right there, like in weight, for sure.
Yeah, man. So, and this is like a big wish, but I find it really awkward to lug a shotgun around, even with a sling, right?
I know.
You know what my dream is like one of those military-style fold-over stocks.
Oh yeah.
And then it's just like kind of tight
Kinda
to
throw
your
it in your
back
pack
and
and-
like, yeah, or shove it in your pack. Like
Is that a thing? That must be a thing that exists.
Oh yeah, they look a little tactical for
Yeah, for like grouse
for your
hunting and
average, like
foraging.
yeah, but probably really convenient. So I'm looking for yellowfoots in this sphagnum habitat, but I want to be where there's more conifers. There's a lot of alders in here. There's even a couple ashes, yellow birch. So I'm in the swampy edge. Steve's walking the hardwood edge, and he just flushed a couple birds. And we're seeing a lot of moose tracks in here too. Yeah, this is like short barrel shotgun habitat.
Yeah, little pointy, perfect with short barrel.
Yeah. This, I don't know what this has got, 26, 28 inch barrel or whatever, but it's just, I saw him.
I didn't see it, but I heard it yet.
He flushed basically straight ahead of us, so maybe we'll bump him again. And they're still in their family groups. They really tend to be flocked up right now, so I think I saw 7 on the drive here. We saw 5 on the side of the road. So they're around. This looks a little more promising to me. So we've got a little bit of standing water, but also these somewhat drier mossy spots. And you might notice now we're getting into more black spruce. So this is black spruce here. Might even find a few tamaracks. There's a white pine growing in the middle of this, but anyway, this is like Yellowfoot chanterelle habitat right here, I think. See, there's a wet moose track over there. So, you know, there's moose in here. You'll never see them. My visibility is maybe 10 yards maximum. Steve's just right beside me over here. I can't even see his orange. So for safety, it's always a good idea to do little verbal check-ins. Give a little shout from time to time so you don't lose your hunting partner or end up, you know, in front of them where they might be shooting or too close beside them. We have a really solid population of ruffed grouse in this zone, and we occasionally get spruce grouse, and this is pretty much where you would expect to see them, in these sphagnum bogs with all these spruce trees. There's some feather moss there. See how it's really feathered? And then a different type of moss here. It might be a dicranum. And then here we've got little bryophytes. I forget what those ones are called. Yeah, it's pretty thick, eh? Oh yeah. Yeah, it's pretty wet here.
All the way out here.
Okay.
I'm just wondering if you might be a little bit more of a stock in the market for it now.
So far so good. I can keep pacing off you in here.
What's that?
I'll keep pacing off you in here. Big pile of moose poops. So I can hear Steve flushed another bird. I think that's the 3rd one now, maybe. No shots fired yet. Because we're in the early season, it's like all the leaves are still on. And obviously you can't see very far in here. So the grouse are definitely at an advantage. Although it's early season, so a lot of them haven't experienced any hunting pressure yet, and I'm pretty sure I can guarantee that any birds in this spruce swamp have not faced any hunting pressure at all, nor will they for the duration of the season. So I know that these habitats are like the main habitat north of here in Ontario when you get into the boreal forest. But when you're in central Ontario, I would say that spruce bogs are like very underexplored, under-harvested habitats. Because people like to have dry feet and road walks. You don't get a lot of people busting out in the woods here. There's also no cell phone signal, so people get worried about getting lost. And anyway, another hot tip to share with you that I, again, didn't follow is that it's not a bad idea to wear a pair of safety glasses when you are walking through this habitat. Otherwise, you spend quite a bit of time with your eyes half closed, protecting them from twigs. But you get out here, you're going to see places that other people don't see. And hopefully cash in on a big pile of mushrooms that people don't pick. Well, that's good news. I just heard a big kapow. I wondered why he didn't call back when I called check-in. And it's because he was sneaking after that bird that he flushed. And hopefully he got it. So I'm going to do the swamp walk here and loop back around to where Steve is. I'm just over here. And so is this. A lechnum mushroom. So see the little scabers, the little scales on the stalk? And this one's got really white flesh and something's been nibbling at it. I forget what the name of this one is. Do a little chew. It's got a really mild flavor. I'm pretty sure this is a good one. I'm going to take it to Steve and he'll know what it is. And there they are. I just was headed towards Steve and I spotted 2, and then I spotted a dozen, and then I spotted a bunch and a bunch and a bunch. So notice that from the top they're a little bit the color of dead leaves, but they have a very yellow stipe, hence the name Yellowfoot chanterelle. And that's my thumbnail photo right there. So I'm going to do a little bit of picking here, and I'm going to catch up to Steve and find out about this shooting that he's been doing. So I find these mushrooms probably pick almost the cleanest of any mushrooms that I normally pick. And I realize the lighting's not great here, but if you pinch off the foot, then you get rid of all the sphagnum moss that they might be hanging on to. And they're always going to be a little bit soggy when you pick them, but these are a very good mushroom. One of my favorites, and very distinctive, so they're easy to identify. You can see they are, oh, the backlighting's nice on this. They're hollow, so you see the little hole in the center. If you grab either side, you can peel them open, and the stipe is hollow as well. So I'll give you a little peek around here. You can see that there's green and red sphagnum, and this spot's actually fairly open, which is often where I find them, where a little bit of sun touches them. And there are mature black spruces, a little bit of understory balsam and alders, a few sedges. I see bunchberries and a few blueberries And I often find them growing beside nannyberries as well. And again, there's a bunch of them here. And we're going to try and pick enough for Steve's winter supply. Make a big heap here. The other important characteristic of this group is they have those false branching gills. So they're like little ridges under the cap. Okay, so again, hollow in the cap, a little hole in the cap with a hollow stipe, and branched ridges, false gills underneath. I pretty much exclusively find them growing in sphagnum under black spruce.
I'm just going slow, keep my eyes peeled if we're in the zone.
Yeah, we're in the zone.
Nice. Sure, that can hang on a long time.
Yeah. Here, I got one for you to ID. This is what I was bringing you when I stumbled upon the...
Ooh, that could be in the...
It's a lectinum, right?
Yeah, that's Licinum for sure, Lectinum. I don't know how people pronounce it. I've always said Licinum.
Yeah, I've always said lectinum.
Free gills. We call it, and this is just for anybody who's new, when you're looking at a mushroom, the way the Hymeneum, the gills, pores, or teeth interact with the stipe, doesn't matter if it's pores even like this, we still call it a freaking gill arrangement. Yeah. It's an old plant terminology. I don't know why that's hanging on, but even though these are pores, that would be referred to as a free gill arrangement.
Because they're not touching the stipe right close to the edge. There.
That's right. You see that little moat?
Yeah.
So I don't know this guy, but my intuition on this guy is that's an eater for sure.
Yeah, I did a spit test and it's like very, very mild.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll go home and I'll have a look, like when we get some signal and stuff, and I'll do a little bit of research on that guy, but we'll put him in the non-target species. I'll throw him in. Actually, you know what? Your thing would hold it maybe a bit better.
I can put them in a bag and keep it separate from the rest too.
Yeah, just to, that's a really good habit. If you're new at mushroom hunting, is to take your study specimens and put them apart from your eaters. Nothing should go into the kitchen you aren't 100% sure about. So, and don't let anybody tell you either that they know all the mushrooms in the forest. We got 4,500 species here in Ontario. Anybody who tells you they know them all is lying or has an overinflated ego.
Yeah.
We're going to do some research on that before we eat it.
Steve only knows 4,300 of them. So.
I only know 4,300.
Yeah, we're back up on the story here. This is what you
were over in here finding those shrooms, and I got the first bird of the day. Nice little old bird. See those black feathers?
Yeah.
On his neck and everything. But anyway, really long bomb. It's so thick over there. I really didn't get a good look at him, and it was a long bomb, over 40 yards for sure.
Oh, okay.
Full choke. I got a full tube on my full choke barrel on my. Tired, man. Cut.
Full choke. We know what you're talking about. Hit him with
the full choke about almost 50 yards out, let's say. And I thought I had I think it was far enough that the shot dropped. I thought I got a pellet or two in the head, but he's got broken legs.
Oh, okay.
So I don't like seeing that. I don't know how that bodes.
There might be a few in the body, but...
Yeah, see, I got a few little pellets there. I'll have to get them plucked out and figure it out how bad that is, but that's not always a great sign.
No.
It's so thick, though. I just you know what? This I think this bird flushed on me 3 times. I was lucky to get a look at him. It was the first time I fucking saw it.
And that happens because you hop them. You keep hopping them along, and then you finally get
Oh yeah, and generally the general rule of thumb is after they hop once or twice, it's not worth chasing them down because what happens is that flight reaction gets shorter and shorter, and you never end up getting a shot.
Yeah.
It was just so thick in there. I think he had a little too much confidence. I got lucky, really, just even seeing him. Yeah. Through that, and it was through a little tiny window, a good long way out, and I was like, I'm going for it, man.
Yeah.
This fucker got away 2-3 times already.
Nice.
Anyway, there's one for the pot.
Yeah. Language alert, everybody. It's a Stevie Fun Fair video. I guess I should talk a little bit about sphagnum since we're walking all over it, and it's a habitat feature. So sphagnum, if you have a close look at them, they have a very central or circular arrangement on the tops of them. And one of the features of them is that they just are holding so much moisture where they grow. They want like a really moist habitat. And people pick these to put on top of in their worm pots to keep moisture in, or on top of their potted plants to keep the moisture in. And you can buy it like bales of it in nurseries as peat moss. Usually it's like dried and powdered, obviously. But just to give you an idea about how tall this peat moss is that we're standing on, look where this moose track is. And he pulled out a chunk chunk of sphagnum, and you know, some of these guys are 7 or 8 inches long, so it's a deep mat of sphagnum. And there's some nice pretty view of them from the side too, like truffula trees. Yeah, sometimes you see them like a little more above the sphagnum, and then you can really spot that yellow stem. These ones are getting a little bit old. The stem's lost some of its color.
Yeah.
Right, but they do look like dead leaves.
Yeah, they're not all super prime, but there's some good ones in here.
Too soft.
Yeah, if they're too soft, just leave them. They're not gonna hold up in anything, you know?
No.
Like this guy just lives in here, dude.
Yeah, the moose.
Right out of his comfort zone. Poor guy. Season's coming up, you know? He's probably all snugged in here. Oh, here's a good pack. He's all snugged in here. I feel bad for you, buddy. But I need Yellowfoots.
Yeah, I think these are the Ignicolor, and they've just lost a little bit of their color on the cap. So that's like a related one to the ones we were just picking, right? Or do you think those are Yellowfoots? I got some hedgehogs.
These are Yellowfoots, dude.
That one is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something different beside it?
Do you think there might be a mix, or?
Well, no, because the Ignicolor is yellow all the way up. Like even the cap would be yellow and the gills.
Yeah. Okay.
So these are just a little, but these are nice eating,
just like,
perfect, fresh little winter chanterelles, Yellowfoots.
Yeah, and there's a pretty good, like there's a few dozen of them here.
Yeah, I bet if we look
around. Yeah. Okay.
Well, let's grab more tubiformis.
Let's do it.
Yeah, some really nice little fresh ones, huh?
Yeah. So we're trying to keep a schedule, which is why we're heading back. But then we got up into these. I don't see them as often in the dry habitats, but these ones are in better shape than the ones we
see. It's funny because down my way, I don't hunt a lot of stuff like that boggy stuff.
No.
And this is where I find them. Is where, see how there's moss here?
Yeah.
When there's moss, you can find these.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. This is sphagnum again, but it doesn't have to be.
Nope.
Oh, maybe this is.
These are dicranums and.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's longer. And
yeah,
like
it's different.
Ear.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I guess that's just kind of prove my point. Like, it doesn't have to be sphagnum moss. It can be sort of any moss. They just have some kind of association. They like moss.
Yeah. Yeah, these guys are like way smaller, but they're much.
And the freshest moose poop yet.
Much.
This stuff is wet.
Fresher. Okay, let's have a peek at that.
Yeah. Look at all these Yellowfoots right in the freshest moose poop that we've seen all day. Look at that sign, man.
Yeah.
It is still freaking wet. They dropped that 10 minutes ago.
Maybe.
We just missed this moose. I didn't hear it. They're so stealthy.
Yeah, they are.
So here's what I find incredible with moose. For a 1-ton animal.
Yep.
How stealthy they are.
Like ghosts.
They're like ghosts, man. It's incredible. It's like, like imagine 3 horses put together. That's what a moose is. And it was right. It couldn't have been here 10 minutes ago. We didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
There's some hedgehogs there too that are in not
back
bad
in there.
shape. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just pick around the shite.
Yeah. Yeah, try not to sneak one of those glossette raisins in here, right?
Glossette raisins, exactly. Leave all these little guys. I try to encourage foragers' rules, you know, leave at least a third behind, you know, take only 2/3, and it's even better if you can leave half, but these guys are in prime eating condition, and some nice ones, so, you know, you can just kind of pick around them, too. You don't have to take every last one, like that little guy can stay. I'll grab his buddy. That guy's a little janky. That one's for the slugs, and we're pretty good there.
Nice. Yeah, we just got back to the Jeep, and we literally flushed up 3 or 4 birds right here, so we're gonna push them for the 1 hop anyway and see if we catch up to them. Yeah, the 3 that I saw went way farther than this, so I wasn't expecting one so close.
There could be another one up there, dude.
I see one.
Oh, take it.
I don't know, I got a gun.
I'll hold you in camera. Yeah. Yeah.
Bonk. That one's done.
He's good. I just got that other one. There might be a 3rd one up there. Two down. But a 4 ain't bad for 4.
No, man.
I told you they were in that tree.
I saw some fly farther than this.
Well, I saw one. Keep light and fast. Jody Lane is too far, but I want to have a look right up this time. Hard to see this way, but. Maybe it was just the two in the tree.
I saw at least 3 birds.
I saw 4, I think.
Yeah.
You want to scoop up those birds and I'll have a quick sweep through here?
Yep.
Or you want to have a shoot? I can scoop up the bird. Actually, I'm the bird guy. I got the bird bag.
Okay. There's one here.
That's the one I shot, I think.
No, that's the one I just shot.
That's the one you just shot?
Yeah.
Okay, well then the one I shot has to be right here then. Somewhere.
No, it came over this way a bit.
That was yours.
So we flushed 2 more. One was on the ground, one was in a tree right over us while we looked for the second bird. We lost a bird. So we had 2 of them on the ground, both looked hit hard. And man, we looked hard.
We just spent a half hour almost, 20 minutes looking for that thing. It's incredible. I've lost birds before, like in real thick stuff.
Yeah.
I've never lost a bird in an open spot.
No,
like
it came
that.
out of the tree, landed on the ground. Then we were looking at the second one, and then we walked over, and there was only 1 bird there, and it was just kind of baffling, but it happens sometimes.
Weirdest thing, yeah. I don't feel great about it, but hey, we looked, man. So
yeah, we did.
Onwards.
Good. Yep. Let's do some steak and mushrooms. How does that sound? So, because these are hollow, what I like to do is sometimes shake them upside down, and then I always split them down the middle and check for balsam fir needles, spruce needles, slugs, and other bugs. So far, so good. Couple little needles on this one. Gonna fry these up. I already have a little bit of fat in the pan, bacon fat from an earlier meal. Yep, I'm gross like that, saving up all my bacon fat in the pan. So we'll get started. Hey Ziggy, what are you sniffing about? You're okay. And we'll get a steak going. Okay. I'm gonna prep my steaks. We'll use a bit of the little Cajun persuasion. Get that on there. Let it soak in a bit. Cook these mushrooms. Okay. Those guys are cooked up, so I'm going to raise the heat. Set these guys aside. And I always put my steaks in spiced down, and then I spice the other side. I don't know if chefs agree with that process or not. And I do like a high heat, sear and flip. Well, it's not really at a searing heat, but cook one side, cook the other side, and then I turn the heat way down and I let them kind of cook at a lower heat for a longer period of time, and I find that makes a more tender steak. So it's a bit of a slow process. I'll check in at the end of it. And that's a wrap, folks. Meat and mushrooms. What more could you want?